Okay. You good? All right. I'm going to there's other people on the other feed, so I'll explain what we're doing. So thanks for watching, everybody. I've been getting a lot of questions on Instagram, TikTok, well, everywhere. Facebook, Twitter, everywhere. My website. How do I structure my workouts? So there are several different ways that you can create your workouts. And for me, I'm always thinking about trying to target 3 or 4 different energy systems, because it's one thing to continue drilling the same pace over and over and over again for 60 minutes, and that does serve a purpose, but if you're doing that all the time, you're gonna get really stale. Your body's not adapting to different intensity levels. And then I see this happen so many times, and then when you're ready to go out in a big event like a state tournament or regional tournament, you haven't hit that intensity level yet. You haven't felt like that level of stress. So your body has to adapt. And so there's ways to tailor your workouts. So number one, you're targeting the four or five different energy systems that your body has to adapt with, but you're also programming it within yourself, especially if you don't have a coach right now and you don't have a coach feeding you workouts. You have to be smart about it. Obviously early on, we're doing volume, and we'll throw in some high intensity workouts in there to spike your heart rate and to break up the monotony. But as you get closer and closer and closer to your competitions, and you get closer and closer to that end of the year championships, the volume starts going out the window, the practices go down, the duration of practices, and then you're also spiking and increasing the intensity levels more frequently and more often than just doing a 60-minute all drilling medium intensity or whatever it might be. So this particular workout, you might have seen some of the other workouts. I've tried to give you guys some ideas to create your own workouts. You might have seen them. I've done some volume workouts where it's just pure 200 reps, 200 repetitions. That's it. That's all you're focusing on, just getting your repetitions in and pushing your body through it. I've given you other workouts where you're building strength and endurance and throwing in some wrestling drills at the same time. Now this today is more of high intensity, lower resistance. I call it lower resistance because we're going to be using a resistance band. All right. I love resistance bands for warming up and to create the same wrestling type of movements, but it's a lower resistance because obviously you don't have a person and you're giving your body a chance to sort of adapt without any resistance. You don't have a partner, so I like the bands when it's sort of a lower resistance day, but you can get a lot of reps in. So this is more or less to develop speed today. Shorter intervals. So they're going to be 15-second intervals with 5 seconds rest, and we're only doing 4 different exercises. So really, you're going to go for a minute of high intensity, and then 5 seconds in between everything. And so I have 4 sets with 4 reps in each set, 15 seconds each, 5 seconds rest, and then we'll take a longer break between each set of 4 so I can explain the next set of 4. But that's essentially where we're at today. I want to give you guys more ideas to create your own workouts. Who knows? COVID, I've been hearing COVID could potentially send us back in quarantine. So you guys just got to be prepared. And so I'm here as a resource. I'm here doing these things for you guys. Let me know if you guys need anything. But we'll get started here. We got warmed up. So today I got you guys prepared. Have a dummy, have the band. If you don't have the dummy, if you don't have the band, you can still go through these movements. It's just you're not gonna have any resistance, but you can still go through the movement. So the first set of 4, we're gonna do a band snap down. So essentially, you wanna attach your band to a wall or a doorknob or attach it to something, and you wanna get further enough back, and you're gonna be in your stance, and you're just gonna pull the band, you're gonna pull your arms straight down. So look, it's not my arm, I'm not pulling them in like this, like a row. I'm snapping it towards my legs, and my hands are like in wrestling. My hands are ready to attack, and then when I'm ready, I'm basically gonna down block. So I'm gonna take my back leg away and snap to that side. So right here, boom, 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 boom. And if you can, you should try and hit your hands on the mat. So that's gonna be fast. It's gonna be 15 seconds. Now, if you don't have bands, do it without bands. You guys gotta get creative. Do it without bands. Boom, boom, boom. All right. So you guys get creative. Number 2, use the dummy. We're gonna do an arm throw rotate. So this is just to get your footwork moving. So I'm gonna hold the dummy's hand, and then hold the opposite hand with my palm out. So my palm's in the side I'm attacking, and my palm's out on the opposite side. So essentially, this is what I want to do to the dummy. My right hand's pointed out, grabbing the wrist, and my left hand is pointed in. So I'm gonna pull with my right arm. I'm gonna pull with my right arm, and I'm gonna hop my hips in there. So it's 1, 2, and you see I can pull with my right hand at the same time. Boom. Now once I get here and I'm really tight, I'm gonna let go of this hand and then pull it. So I pull it 180. All right. Now, if you don't have a dummy, that's fine. You can do it without a dummy. You don't need the dummy. Like I can still do this. I can still do the footwork. 1, 2, pull. 1, 2, pull. 1, 2, pull. 1, 2, pull. So that's the idea, for your feet to move in a very specific pattern. So without a dummy, 1, 2, back step. 1, 2. Now with my right hand, I'm gonna pull it. 1, 2, pull. They're quarter turns every time. Boom. All right. Any questions there? No? I can show it again if you need to. And then the last 2, we're just adding an element of really intensity, quick feet. And when I say quick feet, like sometimes I'll get this. This is your version of quick feet. That's not. I mean, that might feel like all you can do, but you really gotta, like I'm gonna squat down a little bit, bend my knees, and get in sort of this really tight stance and tense everything up. So when I'm ready, it's just my feet moving. But that's like that pitter patter with your feet. That's like the frequency your feet should be moving. It's fast. All right, so that's for 15. And then the last one here is just a Superman, really easy for 15 seconds. Pretty easy, right? So I can go through one more time if you need to see it again. Need to see it again?
Can you do the arm throw again?
Yeah. With the dummy or without it?
Without, because I don't think I can do it with.
Yeah, I wouldn't do it with that. So if just being in a stance, all right, starting your stance, I'm gonna step with the leg that's already forward and point my toe to the left. So 1, all right, 1, and then my back leg comes through, 2. Now I'm gonna pull I'm gonna rotate and go clockwise a quarter. Boom. So I rotate went clockwise for a quarter. I'm gonna go again. 1, 2, pull. 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 So every time I step, now I'm doing it on, if you imagine, I'm doing it on somebody's right arm. So I'm gonna always keep pointing to my left. 1, 2, and now I'm gonna just pull this way. I'm gonna pull clockwise. Boom. So it's a quarter turn. That one's tricky. It's really about just getting your feet in position and moving your feet and attacking. All right. Okay. All right, here we go. We're gonna go. Those are all gonna be 15-second goes. It's not a long time, so it's up to you guys to really push yourself through here. Now this is different than pushing yourself through a minute go, because a minute go you can sort of, I don't want to say pace yourself, and I hate it when athletes pace themselves because there is a level of just pushing at your maximum output. This is for certain your maximum output. Like you're trying to achieve speed and you're trying to achieve as many reps as you can in 15 seconds, which again, it's not going to be a lot because it's only 15 seconds, but that means your feet have got to be constantly moving. I love doing drills with your feet, getting your feet moving. Today I'm barefooted, so I have another level of adaptation with my body, my feet, my Achilles, my arch, my toes. Like all that stuff's gonna get worked today. All right, so here we go. Let me set the timer. We're starting bands. And this will beep so you guys will know. It's gonna be 10 seconds actually after this, I think. Let me see. Go! Five seconds. Now we're going arm throw rotate. Quick feet. Five seconds. Superman's next. Time. That's it. Woo! That's one round. So these are gonna put you in oxygen debt. And that's the thing. In wrestling, and it's hard to explain without having some background in like some science and biology and physiology, but in wrestling, it's a 6-minute bout. You have these flurries that last 10 to 15 seconds. Now, if two wrestlers train the exact same way, right, and they both know all the same moves, right, they're gonna be pretty close. The outcome should be relatively pretty close, right? So you're always trying to adapt your body in a different way than somebody else, right? You're always trying to create ways to go to a level of intensity and sustain the intense level longer than somebody else, because ultimately what it comes down to, again, 6 minutes, you have 10 to 20 second flurries. Can wrestler A out-flurry me? Like, can they out-flurry? Have they trained to that extent to push themselves into that intense zone and still keep going in a very explosive way? So this is why I love training very specifically this way. Many coaches, many wrestlers get in a bad habit of going for 60-minute runs, and it doesn't, to be honest with you, it does nothing. Like, I was a runner in high school and college, and so I know how bodies adapt to 60 minutes of running. And it's slow twitch. Your muscles develop slow aerobic twitch muscles. So in wrestling, you do need some of that, but it can be developed through workouts like this. So that's a little bit of a rant. I'm exhausted just from doing 1 minute right there. And so what we're trying to achieve today, one set is 4 1-minute goes. And ideally, you do this 3 or 4 times, probably 3. 4 would be really like taxing your body. Like you want to be able to sustain the speed, sustain the number of reps you're doing. You don't want to deteriorate in this workout because you have just enough recovery between each set. All right, here we go. So number 2, arm throw with the band. So now we did the arm throw with the dummy. Now you just get your resistance band, and it's essentially the same thing, except now I'm going to use my arms when I jump my feet in. 1, 2. I'm already sort of starting to pull the bands to my left. 1, 2. And I'm going to pull. And that thing should go over your shoulder. It's holding me up right here. Like I'm trusting that hook on my wall is holding me up. So then come back, go the other way. 1, 2, boom. Once you get really proficient at this, your hands will be able to start touching the mat. Like 1, 2, boom. Once you can touch your hands on the mat and you're in a good, look, I'm on my toes. I'm leaning forward. If I let go of the bands right now, I fall straight forward. So regardless of whether or not you do this, do arm throws in wrestling, you're developing good footwork. Your back step is everything in attacking and finishing leg attacks. All right, so that's number 1. Number 2 is an actual arm throw. So if you have, Jasmine, your dummy's too heavy, so just get in there and go 1, 2. And you see how my hips went through? And just get really tight. Everybody else, you guys can throw it through. But the big thing is to learn to jump in and get your hips really tight. Boom. Yeah. So it's essentially the same thing as a resistant band. Then after that, it's gonna be just a forward and backward hop. So if your dummy's on the ground, you just hop over this way. You don't need to have your dummy down, but it adds some height. And then the last one is just here. It's gonna be on your butt. Lock your fingers together, put them on your stomach, point your elbows up, have your legs up, lean back, and just rock it here. Left and right. So that's gonna be for 15 seconds. So again, all of these are for 15 actually. So number 1, arm throw with a resistance band, left and right. Number 2, arm throw the dummy. If you have like an Adams machine and you can't throw it, just get to the arm and pull it. get a good pull. Like I can do it with this dummy while it's leaning on the wall and just hop my hips. 1, 2, and pull. And then reset. 1, 2, pull. In fact, that's actually a really good drill because I can push my butt all the way against the wall. And that's what you really need to have no space in there. So, yeah, that's good. That's good. And again, if you're asking, well, why am I doing arm throws during folk style season? For me, it's all about the footwork. The back step is so important. You don't even realize when you're on a single leg, your left leg is always in a bad position. It's way away from the body. So back stepping in helps you get to the body quicker. So this is why this stuff is so important. All right. Okay, we ready? All right, here we go. Resistant band arm throws coming up. Whoa. 5 seconds. Seconds. Forward, hop forward. Core, 5 seconds. Woo! Time. Woo! That's set 2. All right. This is part 3 of set 1 actually. Now we're going band shots. Resistant band in a stance. Hands are up. Hands are all the way up by my shoulders. I'm already in a good position to attack. Big penetration step. And then once I'm here, now I'll start extending my arms and drive through. And let the band pull me back. I'll go the other way. Boom. Up. Boom. And you notice I'm not extending my arms too much. Like I'm not trying to go like this and get extended. I get a little bit of reach as I go to that leg. All right. So that's exercise 2. Then we are lateral over the dummy. So before we were going forward, back, now we're going lateral. And then number 4, this is sort of like an army crawl, except your elbows and your knees are not going to be on the mat. So I'm in this position. My elbows, so this is pretty hard. Your elbows and your knees are not on the mat. It's just my palms, my toes, and my hips. So I'm in an army crawl. If my right arm goes up, my left leg comes in. All right. That's gonna be tough. That's, if you've done freestyle, that's parterre defense. You know? All right.
15 It's from one of your videos.
Oh, okay, good. So again, we're working, and I'd say this is what work out of fundamental skills, like skills that you might not necessarily do specifically in a wrestling match, but the movements themselves are things that your body needs to be able to do when you're tired. Do it explosively and do it for 15 to 20 seconds. And we're sort of over exaggerating all of it. So in 2 days, your whole body sort of is in shock, and you've got to adapt. Your recovery period will allow you to adapt. So again, we're doing band shots, I forgot, band shots. Then we're gonna do dummy shots. So you could do this probably, Jasmine. Hold it up, take a good shot. Just hold the hands, level change. And I gotta let them go, so I'm gonna let them go, boom, in. You got it. Sorry, that's number 2. All right. Okay, you ready? Here we go, bands. Band shots for 15 seconds. You should go left and right. Five seconds. Lateral hop. That's it. Parterre. Wow. These ones are harder than the other ones. From a breathing perspective, like I can keep going through those longer goes, but this one really taxes you. We're not even through the first set. All right, last set. Last part of the first set. Okay. So we got band pull. So now we're gonna be in the band. We're gonna be in our stance. We're gonna stretch it out a little bit. And then, see, my hands again are facing in. My palms are facing in to each other. Now when I pull the band into my chest, my hands go down. Boom, 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 boom. You might have to back up to get a good resistance on it. All right. But I would say the big thing is just getting a good rhythm again, because it's only 15 seconds. So you don't want to be counting 1 a second like this. It's like, oh. All right. Number 2, back arch throw. So most people aren't going to be able to do a back arch throw. If you can, great. If you cannot, you're going to be wall walking right here. for 15. Woo! And then quick feet, and then Superman again. Oh yeah. Gotta love it. Like when I write these workouts, I'm even like, oh, they're gonna love this. I mean, to some extent, you really have to love pushing yourself in these workouts, especially against me, who's a little old and likes to challenge you guys. I have yet to find anybody who can challenge me, but I know many people can blow me out the water in these workouts. So this is why I want more people on these calls. Step up to the challenge, learn. I can learn from you guys, you can learn from me. I have a ton of knowledge to share with you guys. Okay, here we go. Last set of 4 in the first set. Band pull for 15, back arch throw, or a back arch on the wall. Quick feet for 15, and then Superman's for 15. And that's one full set. Like, that's just one set. And it's taken us like at 30 minutes already. Mainly because I'm explaining it, but I'd say in between, like the explaining I'm doing, that rest period should be maybe 2 or 3 minutes. Like, I wouldn't go more than 2 or 3 minutes. But to be honest with you, I would rather prefer you guys to have full recovery. All right, here we go. Last 4. Set the clock. Here we go. Band pull. Woo! Back arch. Quick feet. Woo! Superman. Let's go. Time. Wow. Good work. Good work. So that's one set. That's only one set. I would do 2. So 2 to 3 minutes between these 4, every 4. And then when you're done with one set, 4 to 5 minutes. So longer rest between the big sets, shorter rest between the little mini ones. But if you need this workout, I'll post it. I'll send it to you. Otherwise, get your stopwatch, be ready, get some water. And I use this boxing one online. It works good. Any questions? No? Okay. Good luck with it. Have fun. Thanks for watching, everybody. If you guys have questions, let me know. And I'll try and give you guys the answers if I have them. Have a good night. Thanks a lot.
Thank you.
See you later.